Hey everyone, welcome back to Brian White. I know it's been a minute since we shared anything, so glad to be back. Hope you all have been well. Happy fall. We are racing towards Christmas. Today I wanted to talk about something different, something very random. I want to talk about pet peeves, okay? Things that irk us, get under our skin, bug us, all that. That's what I want to talk about. I have about 5 points to start out. I feel like this is going to be a series because personally, I have a lot of pet peeves. I'm one of these like irksome, critical type people. Like a lot of things bug me. I don't always show it, but a lot of things actually really annoy me. So I want to talk about a couple of those things today. Today I have 5. So we'll start with these. In no random order, it's not necessarily what bugs me most in order to what bugs me least. It's just, these are just things that are definitely pet peeves of mine. I'm gonna start with bad drivers. Now, I could do a whole video on this in and of itself, but bad drivers, I live in the city of Atlanta, in the state of Georgia in the United States, and trust me, there are no shortage of bad drivers here. It's like, to the point where I just wonder if anybody, not anybody, but if a lot of these people ever took a driving lesson, and if they did, where did they take it? And if they took it and did have driving lessons, like, are they applying anything that they learned? Because they drive crazy. I'm talking overtaking without indicating, I'm talking aggressive speeding, I'm talking cutting in front of you, I'm talking all of this. I'm talking crazy maneuvers where you are exiting the highway or you're driving straight and then suddenly somebody is like crossing over 5 lanes to get off the highway. Just risks that are ridiculous. I mean, any mix of any of these. I have this game I play where I count the amount of idiots that I find on the road. I have another game I play where I see how many seconds it takes me from getting on the road to where I actually encounter such an idiot. These are good games, and these are the only things that keep me sane on the road, but anyway, that's one. I promise I will do a whole video on Atlanta drivers and about bad drivers in general, but that's one. 2, rude people, which I guess bad drivers are included, but I'm talking like just in your everyday interactions when people don't greet you or people don't address you as a human being, or they talk down to you or scoff at you or ignore you or look the other way when you're talking to them. Like any manner of things that suggest that maybe this person was either raised in a barn or raised by wolves or both. There's a scale of rude, and again, that could be a whole nother video, but that is one of my pet peeves. I'm like, we all are facing life together. We share this world. Be polite. Like, to me, it's the basics. Like, I don't understand how that would not come into the equation, but trust me, there's a plethora of rude people out there. Speaking of rude people, number 3, bad customer service. I've been in the customer service industry. Well, first I was a volunteer, so I was in missions and volunteering and basically the humanitarian sector. That's where your job is caring for people, building them up and making them feel important and helping people in need. Then for the last decade and plus, I've been in the restaurant industry, and that's all about customer service. You are responsible for somebody's experience, right? Or their dining experience, their celebration, whatever it may be, their anniversary, birthday, whatever. So when I go places that I'm not treated the same way that I give people treatment, it irks me. We're just gonna leave it at that. Number 4, advice. Now this is out of character from the rest of what we've been talking about, because you would think that advice would be something that I would appreciate. It might just be my personality, but when I say advice, I'm talking specifically about two aspects of this. So there's either the occasion where a loved one or a friend will jump in with their 2 cents, either on a topic that they don't really fully know what they're talking about, or where it's just assumed that you them to weigh in on your situation in a way of like, let me tell you what to do. It's like, okay, well, are you, anyway, this is a complicated topic. This could be a whole nother video, but to me, advice is something that is either should be sought out. When we seek out advice, we go specifically to specific people for it, right? So depending what your need, like if you have a medical need, you're gonna go to a doctor specifically in the genre of what you are experiencing, right? If you have, if you have a need, an expense, or anything, if you have, what I'm trying to say is that advice is something that we should seek out. When it comes to me, out of nowhere, it just, half the time it seems inappropriate, and the other half it's like, well, are you really qualified to give this advice? Do you actually know what you're talking about? Anyway, I'm gonna bullet point this one a little bit more clearly because again, this is a whole other topic in itself. And that leads me to my last point for today.